news and headlines. What companies have big news, what companies are raising money, and what NFT collections saw a big increase last week in sales volume. We'll also have an interview later today talking NFT gaming on the Solana blockchain, and you can find out how you can play and earn in a unique twist. So we're excited about that interview today as well. So don't go anywhere. This is the Roadmap. All right, everyone, as you heard me say, this is the Roadmap, Benzinga's NFT show. We got a good one for you here on this Tuesday. Before we get started, want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor. Today's episode is sponsored by FTX US, which is one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world in terms of trading volume and daily users. The FTX app is used by over 6 million people to buy crypto and NFTs. No transaction or withdrawal fees. You can use your phone or computer. And the FTX US trading platform offers NFT trading on both the Ethereum and Solana blockchains with no gas fees. To find out more, click on the link in the description below and also in the chat, and let FTX know that Benzinga sent you their way, and you can get signed up for your own account. Without further ado, I think it's time to kick off today's show. So let me go ahead and bring on my co-host, Alyssa. Alyssa, what's going on?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's been a busy day, but we're kicking, and I'm excited for today's episode.
Me too. I'm actually really excited because I'm a gamer. I like talking about it.
I know you're a gamer. This one's right up your alley. So I'm excited for that interview that we'll get into in a little bit. Alyssa, it's Tuesday, so let's go ahead and
Oh, did he just get rugged? Oh, he did. Chris, you're back.
Hello, I'm back. Oh man, it's gonna be one of those days today. All right, well, let's take a look back at the top 10 NFT sales by weekly volume for the past week. Last week, led by Bored Ape Yacht Club with $14.9 million, followed by CryptoPunk, So Rare, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, Other Deed, ENS, Art Blocks, Moonbirds, Clone X, and Doodles. A lot of big stories here, Alyssa. Obviously it's another week where we only see one name with $10 million or more in trading volume. We also have another week where 8 of the 10 are the same from last week, right? So only 2 new names in the list. And 8 of the 10, though, were up for the week. So let's start with that last point. Alyssa, we hear so much about, volume drying up in the NFT world, NFTs going out of favor. But if you look at last week, 8 of the top 10 had an increase in sales volume. What could that mean? Are we starting to see some momentum, at least in these blue chip names again?
Based on the numbers, probably, yeah. I'm gonna go off to this point though. I'm not really surprised to see that the same names are repeated. It's just not surprising to me right now. But ENS, I want to talk. We're gonna talk about ENS.
We're gonna talk about ENS later. You have saved that thought. Yeah. So Alyssa, on that note, ENS and Art Blocks were the 2 this week that were not in the previous top 10. But ENS, we're gonna talk about. Art Blocks, they've been in the top 10 before, right? It's not like they're brand new, but it's been a while since they've popped into the top 10. So are we seeing?
There's a reason why they're there.
Yeah, are we seeing generative art and some of these NFT art projects come back into favor? And Art Blocks, they kind of lead the way. So does that mean everyone else is gonna start following with the volume?
Maybe. people, they follow a trend. So if Art Blocks is up there and they continue to, be up there and fly up, maybe you'll see more generative art projects pop up again. Though, I mean, it could be just like, quick projects. So keep an eye out.
Let's turn to other deed, right? So as I said, 8 of the 10 were up on the week versus the previous week. One of the projects that was down was other deed. So obviously we had some game demos going on, Alyssa, where people who owned an other deed got to play. What do we think that sales volume was down just because the last week before this was so much higher? Or do you think some people just wanted to play the game, test it out, and then they sold? Did some people not like the game? What could be some of the reasoning here of the other deed drop off in sales volume?
I think it's because the hype has died down. It's happened, and now it's like everyone's moving on to the next thing. That's my thoughts on that.
Yeah,
But the demo is really cool.
yeah, you've got it up there. One of these shows we're gonna have to go through some gameplay footage. A lot of people, were live streaming, showing off the demo. The biggest thing though is like I heard a lot of positive feedback, right? Like it's not like the servers all crashed. It's not like people were like, "Whoa, they're not prepared for this." It was a lot of positive feedback. So I think that Yuga Labs is getting that much closer, and I think that's exciting, right? Because as we talk about these market leaders, right? Art Blocks for generative art. Bored Ape is one of the market leaders, right? And when they do well, it doesn't mean everyone else is going to do well, but they tend to lead the market, which means sometimes they can increase the overall sentiment and volume for the NFT market. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's pretty fair. And back like with the whole, it didn't like it performed better than I expected. I was really thinking like people were gonna run to Twitter complaining that it was like crap and it was like crashing on them, but I didn't see it. No, everyone was very like happy and pleased. Like this guy like 60 FPS and tracking like it's running good.
Yeah. Yeah. And, that's the thing. I agree, Alyssa. I really thought, I mean, for as much fun as we get sometimes in the NFT market, and as many people that like Bored Ape, there's also your haters out there, right? I mean, obviously we've got some that are involved in a lawsuit, but I didn't see a lot of like super negative comments or, hey, look at them not being able to do this, or how come it took so long, or I mean, I just feel like this was well done, and yeah, the hype has worn down a little bit, but I fully expect other deeds to make a bit of a recovery over the next couple weeks in terms of sales volume. I think people are going to want to play this, and obviously the next catalyst could be official dates, right, of when we actually see the full game. And Alyssa, the other kind of elephant in the room is that there's still other deed land the still to be minted or given away, right? And Yuga Labs said previously that they were going to reward people who helped grow the game, right? So there's some anticipation that the people that participate in these beta tests and take part in it could end up getting able to claim land or mint land or somehow be rewarded. Do you think that's what we're going to see, how they're going to give away the other remaining other deeds here?
Yeah, it's definitely an option. I can see it for sure.
Yeah. And Alyssa, that floor price 2.79, why do I feel like that was like very similar to last week when we talked about it? Unless if it was 2.97 and I'm just thinking of that number, but I swear it was 2.79. So I feel like it's pretty level.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
So I don't know, but the other big gainer on the week, CryptoPunks, up 122%. It went from third place to second place. We're seeing some big sales, right, for CryptoPunks again. And yes, the floor price is down in USD, but people are still accumulating those. And then outside of the top 10, Alyssa, Bored Ape Kennel Club. That's a name we haven't talked about in a little while. Ranked 12th, a 216% jump in sales value. So it looks like another Yuga Labs project, popping in to that top 20. And then Axie Infinity, we're going to talk about Axie later on. They appeared in the top 20 again. I think that's a good sign. And then only one Solana project in the top 20, Degen 19th. And then NBA Top Shot, which we talk about almost every episode, fell to 20th place, did see a 5% increase. But Alyssa, I have been saying for weeks that I thought NBA Top Shot was going to get closer to that top 10 line because they were hovering kind of in the 14, 15, 16. They were 20th last week. I don't know. I might be a little early. We do have summer league games going on now, but the NBA season's still a couple months away, so maybe it's going to be a bit.
I personally think it'll be a bit. That's
you think they make it back there, though? When you say a little bit,
yeah.
do you think NBA Top Shot goes back in the top 10?
Yeah, I think they will be. Like, as soon as the season starts, especially,
Yeah.
I think it'll pop in. And, I mean, they might have cards up their sleeves, like, pop, like, hey, yo, look at this. And then they're on the top 10 again.
Yeah. I think for sure. So we'll see that. All right, well, moving on slightly from the top 10, but definitely in the same realm, Alyssa, I know you wanted to talk about ENS. So I read an article that said Ethereum name service registrations were up 216%. So in the past weekend, 64,000 .eth names were created on Sunday and Monday alone. 108,000 registered in the past week. Let's start with those numbers, Alyssa. So over 100,000 ENS domain names registered in 1 week. That's a 6-digit, pretty massive number. So let's start with the big number. Do you think that this was a lot of people buying one or two names and getting into ENS for the first time? Or do you think this was a lot of people buying up 10 to 20 ENS names at a time because gas is cheap and they're anticipating more of a boom, or a combination, of course, of both?
I think it's a combination. I was going to ask that question, like, why is this happening? But a combination makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean, I definitely have bought a couple over the last month. I don't think I bought any last week, but that is a lot. 108,000 ENS domain registrations. You can see on that chart, that obviously we had that huge spike a couple months ago when the 3-digit and 4-digit numbers were hot, right? And everyone was out trying to get those. We also had the airdrop of the ENS token. When that was announced, we saw a spike, obviously, of people trying to get in. But I mean, look at that volume now. Like, it is steadily rising, and I think we're just going to keep seeing this. I actually had a good conversation with someone yesterday about ENS. More on that later on this week, about a 3-digit ENS domain that you can actually buy shares in. Spoiler alert, we'll talk. But Alyssa, along with the number of registrations, we once again saw some big sales. So 000.eth sold for 300 ETH or $344,000 on Sunday. We're also seeing Arabic or Chinese character ETH addresses also getting strong purchases. So there was one that sold for 100 ETH, 114,500. Alyssa, I know English and I know some Spanish and I know some French. I feel like I'm at a disadvantage because I don't know these other languages with the characters, because those character domain names, I think, are going to end up being some of the best purchases that people ever bought. So maybe you and I need to enroll in some language classes so we can start scooping up some of these domains. What do you think?
Download some Duolingo.
Duolingo, yeah, we're coming your way, because I want to know. Yeah, I mean, I actually think I saw on Twitter that someone got like one of the foreign ways to say Bored Ape Yacht Club that no one had purchased yet, .eth, right? And then anyone who owns Bored Apes over there, obviously that's going to be highly coveted.
Yeah.
Like people are just they're taking advantage of and anticipating what's to come for ENS. And like I said, I don't think this is over. I think we're still early here.
I never even thought about like buying names in different languages, but it is a good, solid strategy.
Yeah, I mean, and like, yeah, like, I mean, I don't want to throw out too many in case they've not been scooped up, but like, I mean, obviously you've got like, your numbers in like Spanish, like maybe, because I'm sure someone owns one.com, right? ONE, or not .com, .eth. So someone probably scooped up, uno.eth, dos.eth, right? All the different numbers. Because again, like one word phrases are just, they're going to be easy to remember, and I think they're going to be valuable. You can also form a whole company, around them. I also feel like numbers still is the way to go, right? I have some 5-digit domains. I don't have any 3 or 4. Yeah, so it looks like someone's got Uno. But I don't know what else, Alyssa. I keep trying to come up with ideas, but yeah, like we talked last week, right? It's harder to go after like celebrities and like that type of name, right? Because you're kind of hit or miss, right? Like only so many people are ever going to want to buy it, the celebrity or like a big fan. Whereas if you buy like a word that's well known, right? Like that could be the way to go. So I don't know.
There's a lot of ways. Like I mentioned this in the previous episode where we talked about the ENS domains. Like it's the same deal with the .com. Like people came, you could be like laying in bed and you just come up with a name like, bro, I need to buy this because I think someone's gonna buy it, and you can start advertising.
What happens.
Yeah, so like, I didn't even think about the foreign language.
Yeah, might be late there too, but yeah, I mean, it's just kind of crazy, right? But seeing ENS in the top 10 last week, I mean, after we talked about it, I just feel like is further validation. Yeah, that it's gonna keep going.
When was the last time we even seen ENS? Like when it spiked, right? Like
I feel like it was in the top 10 or top 20. Yeah, back when the 3-digit numbers and 4-digit numbers were super hot, right?
So back
I don't think
April,
I've seen
May.
it though since then in the top 10 or even the top 20.
Wow. Yeah, you're right.
So I mean that's a lot. All right. Anything else on ENS, Alyssa?
Not. I mean, I could talk a lot about it, but no, it takes the whole episode.
More to come later this week, because like I said, 3-digit ENS are the rarest out there, right? Because there's only 999 possible 3-digit combinations. They're all sold out, but there is a way you can own a piece of one later this week. So I'll give that to our viewers later on this week and let them know how. Alyssa, I write about entertainment a lot on Benzinga, right? And one of the most popular shows out there that I've written about several times is, of course, Stranger Things. And I know there's a lot of Stranger Things fans out there, and I have news that we are getting Stranger Things NFTs. What? Like, this probably should have happened a while ago, right? But it's coming. So this is from Candy Digital, which Candy Digital has a deal with Major League Baseball. They've got investments from Mike Novogratz, Gary Vee, and some other big names. They are launching Stranger Things character poster NFTs this week in mystery boxes. So these go on sale July 14th. That is 2 days away. So Thursday. You sign up for.
That's a nice birthday present.
Oh, that's right. That's Alyssa's birthday. We're gonna have to get some Stranger Things posters for you. There is some FAQs on the site right there. If you scroll up a little bit, that breaks down the what's inside the mystery boxes. You get one character poster. There is 17 different, and you want to take the chance, Alyssa, of trying to get all 17 on your own. You can buy a Hellfire Club bundle. There's only
Nice.
99 of those where you get all 17 posters. Otherwise, you have a chance, a random draw of all 17. There is 11,111 mystery boxes available. The boxes cost, Alyssa, this is what I really like, $11
Ooh.
USD each, or the bundle of all 17 is $275. Here's another way where I think we bring new people into the NFT space, right? $11 is pretty affordable for an NFT drop. What do you think of that price?
That is a very nice price. Usually I don't buy into things because of the prices. I don't really want to spend 50 plus, 100 plus, several hundred on something that I don't know. Like, I really have to believe in a project to like actually spend that much money in, and usually I don't do that with like stuff like this. But $11,
No,
I would.
agreed.
I
Yeah.
would. Yeah.
Now, what do you think about so let's say you have $200 or $300 to spend on this, right? Let's say you're a Stranger Things super fan. Are you going to take the chance and buy up individual mystery boxes, or would you just go ahead and grab the Hellfire Club pack where you are guaranteed to get all 17?
I'd probably get the pack. Yeah.
Yeah. Now
Yeah, I would.
the thing is, for anyone out there thinking about it, if you do the math, right, $11 times 17 boxes would be $187. So you are paying more per poster for the big pack, but again, you're guaranteed to get all 17. Now, Alyssa, we know that hypothetically down the road, what if we get more Stranger Things drops, right? What if owning all 17 posters puts you into exclusive company and you get, first access at season 5 drops, or, mints from the show, right? And I mean, this is just character posters. I have to think that there's probably more coming. I see that comment, of course, from in the chat from Sludge, about how they're ramming Stranger Things into the ground as fast as they possibly can. I mean, Netflix owns Stranger Things, right? This is one of their original shows, so it's not like they license it. I think they're late here, right? They could have been doing this for a while, but I think this is just, it's smart on Netflix's part, right? Like, why wouldn't you do an NFT drop? And again, I mean, it's $11. It's not like they're charging $100 for each NFT, which they probably could hypothetically. So, oh, there we go. So there's a different number. Okay, here we go. That's why.
Eddie. I was looking for Eddie. People
So
love Eddie.
11's the rare one, right? What is that?
Yeah.
223.
223.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Interesting.
So to complete the set on your own, I mean, you probably are going to spend more than the $275 buying boxes. So
Yeah.
So I still think your best bet is getting one of the big packs.
I'm gonna say this. This one, I think we all knew it. We all knew that Stranger Things was probably going to release NFTs eventually, and they were probably waiting for a new season to drop. Sucks that it's happening now, but hey, it's still, I think, like the fans, they love Stranger Things. I mean, I'm kind of like comparing this to Walking Dead NFTs that released. I wouldn't buy those, but I would buy Stranger Things because the show itself is more popular, I think. Do people still like Walking Dead?
I don't know. So Walking Dead, I can honestly say I watched the first, I think 4 or 5 seasons, and then I stopped watching. And I feel like, did you watch it, Alyssa?
I stopped watching after Glenn got unalived.
Big spoiler out of you.
Hey, I'm sure they already know.
No, yeah. For me, it was, I think, season 5. And for me, it just seemed like it was getting really repetitive. And like also like you mentioned with Glenn, right? I like certain characters. Obviously, certain characters on that show can die. It just I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's still going as far as I know on AMC. They're also doing a bunch of spin-offs. They're also doing some movies. But yeah, I never got into that as much from the NFT angle. Alyssa, so I said, maybe Stranger Things is late to the party, or Netflix is late to the party. Speaking of that, we did get another NFT marketplace announcement yesterday after market close. Publicly traded Gamestop, GME for anyone who doesn't follow stocks, finally released the GameStop NFT marketplace. I guess I shouldn't shade them too bad when I say finally, because we're 12 days into July. But they have said from January on that this would be released in the second quarter of the year. The second quarter, of course, was done in June. So they're a little late here. And Alyssa, I mean, you and I both know too that NFTs have kind of slowed down, right? Like GameStop could have launched this months ago, and it just seems like they might be a little late here.
No, they're very late.
Point
they really
blank.
could have.
Yeah, just say it, Alyssa. Yes.
They were late. They could have like struck when the iron was hot way back then, dude. Like they could have, but they didn't. And I'm sure they had resources. I'm sure they did.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, to me, like, look at the Coinbase launch, right? When the Coinbase launch happened, how hyped that was, and then it kind of fizzled away. Like, I feel like GameStop had opportunity then to like go back, refine, do a new way. Like, I don't see a ton of things on there, just browsing through that really get me that excited. I think they should have tried to do more exclusives. They should have partnered with some game companies, some big projects, right? I know they did some, but like it just, I don't know. Like there isn't a ton there to me.
No, I don't. Relationships are everything in NFTs, and the fact that they didn't really reach out and like try to get on, I don't know, maybe the Bored Ape, maybe they tried, but Bored Apes, I mean the cats, there's so many big projects that they could have like partnered up with. That's the reason why Coinbase, their platform was like so hyped up.
Yeah,
because of the people they were, partnering up with. I don't recognize any of these, by the way.
Yeah. Now, Alyssa, before we get into the interview today, on that note of Coinbase, right? I did see that the Coinbase NFT marketplace was used by a celebrity. He has an account there, and that was shared today. So, actor Bill Murray, who joined the Coinbase NFT marketplace, it says April 19th. His portfolio now, his NFT wallet, we have a cool cat and a CryptoPunk. I mean, look at that, right? Who would have thought? So Bill Murray, he did launch his own NFTs. I think each one came with like a different like story from his life. But he is in NFTs now and has a cool cat and a CryptoPunk. I mean, it also looks like he's got some other things there. We got some VeeFriends. Is that Boss Beauties?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Gutter Cat Gang.
World of Women, Gutter Cat Gang. I mean, he's got so let's start with that, Alyssa. Cool cats. We're fans of cats on the show, right? We like the cats. What do you think of Bill Murray's pick here for a cool cat? We have the properties of stunned face, a beret, a button-down shirt, and cool one mouth. What do you think of this cat?
It's very. I can see Bill Murray in it. Maybe it's the beret. I don't know, but
Yeah,
It's a good grab. I don't know the rarity. Do they show the trades? They don't, do they? Well, they do, but
they you might have to pull up the open see.
You're
How
right.
that's what. Yeah, thanks Coinbase, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I feel like one of them was like 2% when I was looking. So I mean,
Okay.
not like
Yeah.
ridiculously rare. Oh yeah, the
Three
beret
of
is
them.
2%. The green and the shirt and the stun face. So it's gotta be decent.
It doesn't. I mean, I don't think the rarity matters for some of these projects at this point. Well, it does, but doesn't. But good find, Bill Murray. And I was not expecting you to buy
So he bought it.
a punk.
So it was bought for 3.9 ETH by Bill Murray. So yeah. And I feel like what was the floor on Cool Cats? I feel like it was right around there. So I almost feel like he got this on close to the floor. Or am I off?
3.9.
Yeah, 3.99 now. So yeah, that's right around there. So all right. So Bill Murray, welcome to Cool Cats and Crypto Punks. Alyssa, I think it's time to get in to our interview today. Super excited about this one. Gaming and NFTs syncing up. So Alyssa, I will see you in a little bit, but I'm gonna on. We have Evan Ryer, the CEO and co-founder of Bravo Ready. Evan, welcome to the roadmap.
Thanks for having me, Chris. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, before we get into Bravo Ready and NFT gaming, just wondered if you can give our viewers and listeners just a brief history of how you got involved in the crypto and NFT space prior to this game.
Would be my absolute pleasure. Say, guys, my background academically was in the accounting space. And I threw away the degree that I worked so hard to achieve to go work in the Bitcoin mining industry, where I deployed about 32 megawatts of different ASIC and GPU-based hardware. Ultimately, when Bitcoin mining became less cool, I saw this opportunity to acquire a lot of the graphics cards at pennies on the dollar, respectively. And I pivoted to build a cloud gaming solution, basically where we built at a data center and we would compute all of the associated data from the games on our computers and stream them at a low latency to the different gamers in a specific geographic region. Ultimately, we were eaten alive by the likes of Google Stadia, Shadow Tech, GeForce Now, as they all materialized in the space in those years. Still very bullish on gaming and hungry to build the future of it. I started a company with my co-founder at the time called hypex.gg, now called compete.gg. And basically, we were one of the first esports betting and tournament platforms. It was a website where we would automatically track your performance in different video games, secure payouts, and enable users to bet on anything from who would get the most headshots or slap shots or really anything in between. If there was data for it, we could create a tournament or an event for it. I sold that to a TSX-based public company called Intema, now called React Gaming Group. And shortly after I stepped down from my position as CEO of the subsidiary, rolled my shares to build the future of Web3 gaming. My goals growing up as a gamer with over 10,000 hours in games like World of Warcraft, RuneScape, Rust, Call of Duty, and everything in between. We were very passionate about building a game that provided a tangible secondary market value for the time you committed in video games. For those of you listening, you may be aware you spend 1,000 hours in a video game and your items are not provably fair. They are not liquid in a very easy way. When it boils down to video games and the effort that you commit to these things, you do want to see a direct translation, an hourly remuneration for the time that is committed to these games, and ergo the BR1 metaverse.
Awesome. Yeah, a lot to unpack there, Evan. Love that breakdown. We talk a lot about NFT gaming on the show, and I feel like we're still really early there. What is it about that bridge and that connection between NFTs and video games that you think is ready to go, and what's still missing within the industry?
Well, first and foremost, you're looking at these games, and as I said, you spend a lot of time playing them, and there's no direct correlation to the efforts that you commit. You level a character to a max level 100, or you get the rarest item in the game, and when you want to sell it, you have to go through these third-party websites that take a huge associated cut. Usually, they're foreign-based platforms that also come with a high level of risk. When you create video games where each of the items or the characters are NFTs that are transactable on secondary markets like Fractal, OpenSea, or Magic Eden, not only do you provide liquidity, but you create trust. So you have secondary platforms that have a high level of integrity. You can easily transact these items. You could see where they go and people can see who hold them. How many people have that shirt that you're wearing right now? Who knows? But ultimately, if it was on the blockchain, we would know there's X amount and who all the associated owners are. Right now, the NFT gaming space, Web3 gaming as they refer to it, is very early. We definitely have huge steps to make to bring in the general public. And very soon, I imagine the next year or two, we won't refer to it as NFT gaming or Web3 gaming. It's truly going to be just gaming.
Love that. All right. Well, we got into a little bit of an overview. Let's go ahead and get into Bravo Ready. So tell viewers and listeners about Bravo Ready and why you're so excited for this upcoming game.
Bravo Ready is our Web3 gaming studio. And the first game that we are deploying is BR1 Infinite, our third-person, first-person shooter. The basic premise of our game is not only do you require an NFT to play, which are totally one of one and unique, you actually have to pay to spawn. So in our game, for every round that you play, you're going to pay a spawn fee. So for example, in our $1 game mode, you put up $1 paid in Solana, and you spawn into a map of up to 300 players. Now, there is no start, there's no finish to this game. The game is always happening. It's a constant session. You spawn on the edge of the map, and you begin to work your way towards the center. The game is very PUBG-esque, very Rust-esque, and as you work your way towards the center, you do find greater access to weapons, ammo, and equipment. Similarly, you go through different topography and obstacles that limit your ability to work your way back towards the edge. So there's no storm. There's nothing that forces players towards the center. You go through different topography and obstacles in the pursuit of greater equipment. Once you pass these obstacles, you can't work your way back towards the edge where there are weaker players. Therefore, there's a higher concentration of players at the center of the map. As you eliminate players, you earn the greater of 10% of their total earnings or their spawn fee. So in the $1 game mode, for every elimination, that's the greater of 10% or $1. When you yourself are eliminated, you retain 85% of your earnings. You are kicked out of the game and you are prompted, do you want to spawn again?
Love that.
It's
this sounds amazing. You mentioned PUBG. I have spent some time playing PUBG Mobile. Also Fortnite, comes to mind. You mentioned some of the big differences. Can you just break down, how is this new game similar to Fortnite and PUBG, and what are some of those differences that gamers can come to expect?
So this is a red blood game, not a blue blood game. Fortnite is an example of blue blood in the sense there is no associated gore. Our game is designed for an aging demographic, age 25 to 35, with a disposable income, looking for an additional level of thrill in their everyday gameplay. If you look at Texas Hold'em Poker, for example, nobody plays Texas Hold'em for play money. It's not very entertaining. You play Texas because of the associated financial risk that comes alongside it. This game, once you start betting on your performance in it, you never really achieve that same level of thrill unless you always have that associated financial risk involved. The big difference here is this is the world's first risk-based game. This is not play to earn like many of the Web3 games you hear of. This is kill to earn. If you are not good at the game, if you're not aggregating associated kills, if you have an under 2 KD, ultimately, you're going to be playing at a loss. This is for those hardcore gamers who really want to participate in a gaming ecosystem professionally and passionately. Say the graphic style, as you look at it, it's an incredibly high quality, realistic graphic style. Again, similar to what you see in Rust or PUBG, the major differentiating items, again, is this constant session. The game does not have a start. It does not have a finish. You hop in at your own discretion. You play at your own right. You can choose to sit on the edge of the map. You can choose and camp in the center of it. You play your way.
Yeah, I think that's my next question here. We have the Infinite Royale, is the term that's used here. And, again, I've played PUBG Mobile. Obviously, you play to win, right? You get that winner chicken dinner. Was Infinite Royale, was that something that, other companies have done at all? Is that completely new? And is that something that gamers, have suggested or have been looking for a while within games?
So from what we know, this is the world's first risk-based game and the world's first Infinite Royale. When it comes to a game like this, especially if you're a gamer, if you're around at the launch of PUBG, there was this emotion that ensued, that as you played the game, you had this fight or flight response. Your adrenaline is literally beating through your chest, into your fingertips, into the remote itself. For gamers that want a high level of excitement in their everyday gameplay, the Infinite Royale game mode really seeks to provide. We know personally, having players tied up to heart rate monitors and different sensors and playing this game, it truly is a next level experience. The Infinite Royale is something that I do imagine other game companies will attempt to replicate down the line, and we're very excited for it.
Awesome. So I saw a phrase that was used, I believe it was a quote by you that said, this is not just a game, a way to game. Can you just break that down for us a little bit within the gaming ecosystem? What does that mean?
So guys, gaming is not necessarily just about the gamer. Let me take that even a step farther. I'm 28 years old. I don't have the time to play video games. I love video games. We get to build them, but I don't get to play them. How am I still considered a gamer? Well, it suggests that the profile of a gamer is a lot more diverse than anticipated. What we found is in gaming, there's actually 4 major profiles that you could break down a gamer into. You have that of the athlete, the guy who plays the game. And you may not be able to play 10 hours a day. Maybe you can even play for 30 minutes. You're still an athlete. You're a gamer. A lot of people watch games, and I spend a lot of time watching games on Twitch and on YouTube. You're an athlete. Sometimes you're an audience member. I may not have 1 million followers on Twitter or Instagram, but I am still a content creator. I post a lot of information about P2E games, about gaming in general. You're an athlete, you're an audience member, and you're a content creator. More recently, when it comes to Web3 gaming and the future of gaming itself, we've personally sold out 10,000 NFTs that come alongside our game to play the game. The big commonality between all 10,000 owners of our NFT is they are game investors. Sometimes you play, sometimes you watch, sometimes you talk about it, and sometimes you invest in it. We've created this very rigid ecosystem that drives incentive and reward between each of these profiles to create the best game ever. When I say it reinvents what it means to be a player, I'll break it down for you. The athlete looks for an additional level of thrill in their everyday gameplay. Cool, we spoke about that. Let's talk about the game investor. Chris, do you have 2 hours a day to play my video game?
Not.
And I'm sure many of our listeners today are in that same position. What reason would you have to buy 5 BR1 operatives or NFT? Well, I'll tell you, in our game, you do require the NFT to play. There's only 10,000 NFTs. We released 10,000 operatives when we had 30,000 people ready to play the game. This was to fuel the use of our rental system. If you want to play the game, instead of buying an NFT for $100, for $1,000, you can always rent one for a very immaterial rental fee. That associated rental fee is split pro rata amongst all the participants in the rental pool. Guys like you who own more than one associated operative that isn't currently in use. What's very cool about this as well is by you staking your operatives in the rental pool, it reduces the barriers to entry for gameplay. So again, instead of paying $1,000 for a character to play the game, you're going to pay 10 cents to rent one for this specific session. And that's it. The beautiful thing that comes alongside building such a diverse and rigid ecosystem to apply to each of these profiles. So we talk about the athlete, additional level of thrill, the game investor. Let's talk about the content creator. If you are a Twitch streamer, it's very difficult to build a following on these things, right? You're actually trading off paid work hours to follow a stream schedule. If you're playing this game and you're good at it, you're getting an hourly wage for playing the game. You're getting paid to play. Similarly, for your audience, the very few viewers you may have when you start streaming, this is a financially risk-based game. It is very exciting for the audience to watch you risk it for the quote unquote biscuit. Reinventing what it means to be a player is everything when it comes to Web3 gaming, the future of gaming, building additional incentives for each of the participants.
Evan, I love this. It seems like maybe I got to change my eating habits, and instead of getting that winner chicken dinner, I got to risk it for the biscuit here. Yeah, let's jump to the rental system. That was going to be my question, because I immediately was like, hey, this I would be buying these, renting these out. How do the rentals work? Is this something where, again, since the game is infinite, there isn't a start time and end time, a number of players, do you rent them based on the day, the week, by the hour? Is there different, tiers available? Walk us through the rentals.
So rentals are broken down first and foremost into automatic and manual rentals. The way the automatic rental system works is you boot up the actual game on your PC. It's a PC-based client. And one of the first things you do is it asks you to sign with your wallet. So we prompt you with a QR code, and you take out your phone and you scan it with your NFT wallet. You sign a message, and this enables us to know if you own a BR1 NFT or not. You don't send anything to us. We don't hold anything. There's truly no element of custody on our end. And we do this to mitigate liability and as well from a security standpoint. You sign this message, and if you do not own a BR1 operative, we prompt you and we say, no BR1 operatives found. At that point, you're then prompted to choose the game mode that you're playing. So let's say you choose the $1 game mode. It'll prompt you for another QR code to commit the payment. And they'll take the $1 spawn fee and add 10 cents. 10% of the spawn fee is the rental fee. You'll commit that payment, and it'll give you the cheapest associated operative in the rental pool. So in the automatic rental system, you go to play the game. If you don't have an operative, it'll allocate you the cheapest one automatically from the rental pool. On our web platform, you have access to our manual rental pool. The way that works is if you want a specific operative, a gold on gold Genesis ape, one of the rarer operatives, you'll be able to manually select that. When it comes to rentals, durations, and cost on the manual side, you can decide, is it duration-based rentals? Is it revenue share-based rentals? Are you splitting rev share 20%, 80% with the associated owner? Is it round-based? We have a diversity of different options for the gamers. And as we aggregate data and we get more usage, we can decide what are the preferred methods of associated renting. It's very interesting to note that when it comes to gaming, there's a lot of investment vehicles around gaming. There's people who actually build what they call gamer guilds. And these are large vehicles comprised of thousands of athletes. They call them scholars. And effectively, the owners of the guilds give them NFTs or rent them to them and participate in a rev share. And designing a rental system that not only appeals to the everyday single consumer, but as well the NFT investor profile, like the owners of these gamer guilds or large organizations, is critical to the experience.
Awesome. Love that breakdown. Evan, I know I have a question, and I think our viewers and listeners probably have a similar question, is how close are we? When can we anticipate to be able to play this game?
So alpha drop, we released the first version of the game, the alpha, in January, before ever selling an NFT, before reaching out to any investors or beginning this whole pursuit. We wanted to prove to everybody that we were talented game developers and we knew what we were doing. We dropped the newest build in the next 2 weeks. Right now, you can hop into our Discord and you can download the game. If you want to play in the original alpha, alternatively, if you want to hop on the waitlist and get the newest build that it comes out in the next short while, I hope you're on the edge of your seats because it is a next level experience and we're really excited to welcome everybody into it.
Well, I'm definitely going to have to check that out. Before we let you go, a couple more questions. I know you guys did a recent investing round, and Solana was part of that. What does that investing round do for the company, and what do those key partners kind of bring in to help build out?
So before we raised the capital, we did sell a bunch of our NFTs. We generated decent revenue. We also provided some seed funding ourselves, in the pursuit of greatness. in appealing to the investors that we brought in, like Solana Ventures, like Big Brain Ventures, like Sixth Man, like Shima, like Sano, and everything in between. We have access to unparalleled resources, not only on the human capital side, having access to developers in Unity and full stack backend also gives us the ability to work with other external game dev studios to release our mobile game. Delivering a mobile version of BR1 Infinite is really critical to our roadmap to appeal to the East Asian market and those aged 15 to 22 years old. People who play on mobile are drastically different than those who play on console and PC, and we're really excited to deliver a game for them as well.
Awesome. Evan, last question here. Are there NFT collections outside of your company in this game that you currently hold, you follow? Not financial advice, of course, but any shout outs here of different projects?
So I'm going to give a big shout out to Fractal.is, which is the leading Solana Web3 gaming platform. We got a lot of support from David Wertz, their CEO, and Justin Kahn, who is one of the major investors and founders there. On the NFT project side, I'm personally a huge fan of Laddercaster, which is, I think, the world's first fully on-chain game. Their development group right out of Montreal. As a result, we've developed a huge affinity for everything they're doing. These guys are real builders. And last but not least, Solana Monkey Business. Solana Monkey Business is probably the most well-known and blue-chip Solana-based NFT. It was a community that I found very early on when I entered the Solana ecosystem, and truly has been an unparalleled resource in both networking opportunity, access to resources, technology, mental health, economic, financial advice, and everything in between. So big shout out to Nam and the Monkey DAO crew.
Awesome. Yeah, I remember hearing a lot about Solana Monkey Business from Solana Legend when we had him on the show before. But Evan, this was so much fun. Definitely gonna have to hop in, check that game out, and again, change my eating habits from that winner chicken dinner to that risk it for the biscuit. And maybe buy some NFTs and participate in that rental pool. That sounds like something to check out. So Evan, thank you for your time, and we'll have to talk to you soon.
Chris, thank you so much. Excited to be seeing you in game. The future of gaming is now, and it's extra bright. Have a great day.
All right, everyone. Evan Ryer, let me go ahead bring back on Alyssa here. Alyssa, NFTs and gaming. We talk about it a ton on the show, right? We've been talking about it for months. When are the big companies going to come in? When is this going to happen? I mean, I don't know about you, but I've definitely played Fortnite. I've played PUBG. I play PUBG Mobile still sometimes, for like a half hour at a time. This is really cool. The chance to maybe earn in for getting some of those kills in game. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I've only played Fortnite once, but I'm definitely a lot more on PUBG. It's really cool, like, knowing that you can get paid to kill, and it kind of like encourages you to get good,
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, Evan was very open. It wasn't like, hey, do this and you're going to make money. It was, do this if you're going to be good at the game. If you're not good at the game, you're going to lose money, right? Like, that's what happens. But, if you... so I think that's the thing. Is like, when I play PUBG, like, there's different strategies, right? You can either try to go after and be aggressive and get a bunch of kills, or you can try to play just, hey, I'm going to, camp out in this building and wait, and I can make it to the top 10 just by moving around when the spawn point changes or whatever. But you can't really do that in this game, so you have to be a little aggressive, and you got to do some different strategies. So
yeah
what do you think of the rental system, Alyssa? Are you a fan of that?
That is pretty unique, because it allows anyone really to pop in, right? Like, you can go in and rent something for cheap. So you can play this game, and then that gives you the opportunity, like, if you're a good gamer, if you're not bad, and you get kills, boom, you get money. It's cool and unique.
Yeah, I love the rental system. Again, and Evan, very honest, right? Asking me, hey, do you have 2 hours to play this game every day? Alyssa, no is the answer. Like I said, if I play PUBG Mobile, it's usually for like a half hour, and maybe it's sometimes, late at night or on the weekend, right? It's not while I'm working. It's not while I'm, hanging out with the kids or anything. So, if I could buy this NFT, play for a little bit, but when I'm not playing, rent it out. Like, it just seems like a win-win. I like the revenue share model. I like the fact that, hey, if you're playing and you start doing all these kills, right? You earn money, but if you get killed, you don't just lose, right?
Yeah.
You retain 80%. Like that model, because otherwise that'd be a very risk, right? What if it was winner take all? Right, like 300 people, y'all put in $1 and the last person standing gets all the money, right? I don't feel like people would play that. I just feel like this business model is it's one that's going to get copied. I mean, I can say that, like the infinite royale mode, I feel like is going to get copied by other games, and he said that hasn't been done elsewhere, and I just feel like we're going to see it.
Yeah, I personally haven't seen the Infinite Royale anywhere, though I haven't really paid attention. But that is really cool. This is cool. And yeah, agreed. You're gonna see copycats, not just probably in the NFT space either. One thing I really like about this, like I'm thinking to like, Ubisoft, like. Have we ever had like updates on what their NFTs were? I don't remember, but
no, because I feel like they said they were gonna do it and they started doing it, and then so many like gamers like fought back and like hated it that I feel like they tried to like kind of distance themselves.
Because I think it's because they're known for the freaking microtransaction crap and like this is just gonna be more money grab. Like I like when gaming companies do crap like this instead of just wanting your money. Like you can actually get profit out of playing their game.
Yeah.
Instead of giving them the money.
Or like if Evan would have said like, hey, you have to pay $1 to spawn, and then anytime you see a weapon or ammo in the game, you also have to pay $1. And to enter each building, you also have to pay $1. Like that's where like obviously you can see where like some companies like could kind of milk the money out of this. But
I can see
I
EA
just
doing
feel like
that.
the model is very like, it's very well done. Like the gaming company is going to take a cut, but they're not going to like just milk it, right?
Yeah.
Letting the players and the gamers make money. And again, not everyone is going to make money each time you play. And that's the beauty of it, right? It's risk-based gaming. Like when he said that, I was like, oh, sign me up, right? It's the same with like, same as like sports betting, right? Like if I bet on sports, am I going to win every time? No, but I'm doing it because it's fun. I have the chance to win. Like there's just so many different reasons. And that's what I see out of a game like this.
It definitely is based on like your skill levels of a shooter.
Yeah. Well, I know I'm gonna check it out, Alyssa, and maybe we can stream it sometime too. But
I'll do it too.
I've said this all along. I mean, this goes back to months ago on this show, Alyssa. Like what was it, Skyweaver game, right? Where you could earn NFTs by playing, right? If I only have a half hour a day to play a game, I would rather play a game where I have a chance to earn money than play a game where I'm just playing it, for fun, right? Why not do both? And that's what we have here. So definitely give them a checkout at least, right? You don't have to play it. You don't have to sign up, but you can find the links in the description. And again, thanks to Evan for coming on the show today. Alyssa, any final thoughts on, video games and NFTs and, a game like this? Again, I know you're big into games. This is something we've wanted for a while, right? NFTs and games to really meet. Do you think this is one of those cases where we're getting there soon?
I think so. I'll be honest, I barely have paid attention to the gaming space because none of them really stood out to me. And all the games don't look fun to me. But this looks fun because I like shooters. Okay.
Same.
Even though I'm not good at them. I like
Shooters
them.
and sports. Those are my two.
Oh man, I love RPGs. If someone can figure out a good way to like do like a Skyrim type NFT game, please. Please.
Yeah. All right, Alyssa. Well, I think that's going to do it for our show today. Again, shout out to Evan for coming on. That was a fun interview. It was fun to find out and also hear about a game that's already out, right? Like what a new sign that was, that you can actually play the existing game. There's already NFTs out. I mean, I can hop in tonight if I want. So that was pretty cool to hear. And Alyssa, we also got through a ton of NFT news and headlines. So this was a really fun Tuesday. So thank you to everyone who joined us and is watching live. Also, if you're watching on replay or listening in on the podcast, make sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and let everyone know so we can keep the NFT coverage from Benzinga coming. We appreciate your support, and we will catch you next